Continuing our series of 100 benefits from the book Aqeeda wasitiya. الفائدة الثامنة, the eighth benefit. من المعلوم أن الركن السادس من أركان الإيمان هو الإيمان بقدر الخير وشره. It is known that the sixth pillar from the pillars of Iman is belief in the decree, its good and its evil. For وصف القدر بكيلة أمر في ظاهر. So describing the decree with good is something that's clear. وما وصف بالشر فالمراد بالشر المقدور ولا شر القدر الذي هو في الله. After describing it as evil, then the intent being what's the evil of what's been decreed, not the evil of the decree, which is the action of Allah. لأن فعل الله عز وجل ليس فيه شر فكل أفعاله خير وحكمة. Because the action of Allah, the mighty and majestic, there is no evil in it, for all His actions are good and wise. ولهذا قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الحديث الذي رواه مسلم. This is why the Prophet said in the hadith that was named by Imam Muslim, number 771, and Ali bin Abi Talib anhu wa shar laysa ilayk, from Ali anhu, and the hadith is the evil is not to you. And this advice to myself and my noble brothers and the noble listeners. If there's something that we don't understand in Islam, our goal should be to understand it like how Allah intended us to understand it. Next benefit, al-Faidah al-Tasiyah, al-Quran Kitabullah Ta'ala. The Quran is the book of Allah. وَسَمَى اللَّهُ كِتَابًا لِأَنَّهُ مَكْتُوبٌ فِي اللَّوْحِ الْمَحْفُوظ. And he called it a book because it is something that is written in the Lawh al-Mahfuz. وَمَكْتُوبٌ فِي الصُّحُفِ الَّذِي بِأَيْدِي صَفَرَةِ الْكِرَامِ الْبَرَرَةِ. And also written in the noble scroll, in the scrolls of the noble scribes, noble righteous scribes. وَمَكْتُوبٌ كَذَلِكَ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ يَكْتُبُونَ فِي الْمَصَاحِفِ. And also written amongst the people, they write it, for example, obviously the Mus'haf. For كِتَابِ مَعْنَى مَكْتُوب. So it is a book with the meaning of written. وَدَّعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ لِأَنَّهُ كَلَامُ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى تَكَلَّمَ بِهِ حَقِيقَةً فَكُلُّ حَرْفٍ مِنْهُ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ تَكَلَّمَ بِهِ. And Allah ascribed it to Himself because it is speech in reality, and every letter from it, then Allah spoke by it. وَالْقُرْآنُ الْكَرِيمُ يَتَفَاعَلُ بِتَوَالُ مَدُلَّاتِهِ وَمَوْضُعَاتِهِ. And the Quran, some of it is more virtuous than other parts in terms of what its subject matter is. فسورة الإخلاص التي في ثناء الله عز وجل بما تضمن من الأسماء والصفات. So Surah Ikhlas, in it is praise of Allah and what it contains from His names and attributes. ليس كسورة المسد. It's not like Surah Al-Masad التي فيها بيان حال أبي لهب من حيث الموضوع, in which is the explanation of the condition of Abi Lahab from the aspect of subject matter. كذلك تفاضل من حيث التأثير والقوة في الأسلوب. And also it differs from the aspect of how it affects you. فإن من الآيات ما تجد آية كثيرة لكن فيها رد قوي للقلب وموعظة له. So some ayahs you'll find, even though they're short, they have a great impact in terms of admonishing yourself. ونجد آية أخرى أطول منها بكثير لكن لا تشتمل على ما تشتمل على الأولى. And you find an ayah that's longer but it's not has quite the same impact of that one. فمثلا قوله تعالى يا الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه. For example, the saying of Allah, "O you believe, when you come to agreement regarding a debt to a prescribed time, then write it." إلى آخره. هذه آية موضوع سهل والبث فيها بالإمامة تجري بين الناس وليس فيها ذلك التأثير الذي يؤثره مثل قوله تعالى. So this ayah in terms of its subject matter is easy, and researching in it regarding interactions that happen between the people does not have the same impact. For example, compared to saying Allah kullu nafsin za'iqatul maut, every soul shall taste death. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ. It won't have the same impact as, for example, this ayah, every soul shall taste death and they will be given their reward on the Day of Judgment. So whoever is put far from the fire and entered Jannah, then he is successful. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. And what is the life of this world except delusional enjoyment. فهذه تحمل معاني عظيمة فيها زجر وموعظة وترغيب وترهيب ليس كآية الدين مثلا. So this carries great meaning, and in it is rebuking and admonishing and encouraging and fearing. ليس كآية الدين مثلا. It's not like the ayah of writing the debt, for example. مع أن آية الدين أطول منها. Even the ayah of debt is taller, longer. وهذا باعتماد الله الموجود. أما اعتبار متكلم فإنه أي قرآن كريم يتفاعل لأن المتكلم به واحد Wallahu Azza wa Jal. So this is in consideration to the subject matter. As for considering who spoke it, then obviously it's only Allah that spoke it. ومن أكيد so the same rule doesn't apply because all of it's from Allah. ومن أكيد السنة والجماعة أن الله يتكلم بكلام حقيقي متى شاء كيف شاء. And from the belief of السنة والجماعة is that Allah actually spoke the Quran in reality whenever He wished and how He wished. And in general, we apply this to the speech of Allah, that it's real and that He speaks whenever He wishes and how He wishes. Not just the Quran, but all speech. بحرف وصوت, and He spoke with a letter and a voice. لا يماثل أصوات المخلوقين, but His voice is not like the voice of the creation. ومن أكيدتهم أن القرآن كلام الله منزل غير مخلوق, and we from the belief of Sunnah is that the Quran is revealed and is not created. منهم بدأ وإليه يعود, and from Him it began and to Him it will return. And from the evidences that the speech of Allah, well, the evidences that it's the speech of Allah is the saying of Allah, man astaqu min Allahi qila, and who is more truthful than Allah in speech. From the evidence that from the sifat from the attributes of Allah is His speech. إذ قال الله يا عيسى ابن مريم, when Allah said, O Isa ibn Maryam, وكلم الله موسى تكليما, and Allah spoke to Musa. So He said, Allah said and Allah spoke to Musa, and He mentioned taklima after that to emphasize that He actually spoke to him. وإذا نادى ربك موسى أن ائت القوم الظالمين, and when your Lord called Musa, He said, come with the oppressed people. وهذه آية من أدلة على أن كلامه تبارك وتعالى بصوت مسموع, and these ayahs are evidences that the speech of Allah is with the voice that is heard. وما من آية من كتاب الله إلا وتجد فيها اسما من أسماء الله, and you will not find from the book of Allah an ayah except that in it is a name from the names of Allah, or fi'la min afali, or an action from His action, or hukman min ahkami, or ruling from His rulings. بل لو شئت لقلت كل آية من كتاب الله فهي صفة من صفات الله. And if you wish, you could say that every ayah from the book of Allah is an attribute from the attributes of Allah. لأن القرآن الكريم كلام الله as well, because the noble Quran is the speech of Allah. وكل آية منه, and every ayah from it, فهي صفة من صفات الله, so it's an attribute from the attribute of Allah عز وجل. والقرآن منزل ليس مخلوق, and the Quran is revealed, not created. والدليل قوله على ذلك قوله تعالى, the evidence for that is the saying of Allah, Allah له الخلق والأمر, and to Him belongs the creation and the command. والقرآن من الأمر, and the Quran is from the command. So Allah distinguished between the creation and the command. لقوله تعالى كذلك أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا, and likewise we have revealed to you روحا من أمرنا, from our matter. لأن الكلام صفة المتكلم, because speech is an attribute of the one speaking. أما المخلوق فمفعول للخالق بائن منه كالمصنوع بائن من ثاني. As for the creation, فمفعول للخالق, so the actions for the creation, they are separate from Him, like how the one that makes something is separate, like how something that is made is separate from its maker. So if I was to make a football, it's separate from me, it's not connected to me. In the same way, the creation is separated from me, not connected to me. While the Quran, that is the speech of Allah, is not separate from Him. Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah. And if we believe that the essence of this is me adding a bit on, if we believe the essence of Allah is not created, of course it's not, then the attributes of the essence are not created as well. Because if you say the attributes of Allah are created, then you're implying that He's created. Just like our essence is created and our attributes are created. وذكر ابن قيم رحمه الله أننا إذا أنكرنا أن الله يتكلم فقد أبطلنا الشر والقدر. And Ibn Qayyim mentioned that if we deny that Allah speaks, then we have basically saying that His Sharia and the decree is false. أما الشر فلأن الرسالة إذا جاءت بالوحي والوحي كلام مبلغ إلى المرسل إليه. As for the Sharia, for indeed the various messages that have come by revelation, and the revelation is speech conveyed to the one that it's been sent to. فإذا نفينا الكلام انتفى الوحي. So if we deny the speech, then obviously we're denying the revelation, because the revelation is essentially speech that's revealed from Allah. وإذا انتفى الوحي انتفى الشر. And if you deny the revelation, because if you deny the speech, you deny the revelation, then you deny the Sharia. Amma qadar fa inal khalq yaqa bi amri bi qawlihi kun fayakun. As for the creation, as for qadar, decree, because the creation happens by his command. He says be and is, kama qala ta'ala, innama amruhu idha arada shay'an an yakul lahu kun fayakun. As Allah says, when you want, innama amruhu, his command is only when you want something that he says be and it is. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.